Ila separa kana kupta mira zarame. Yeah. Separa alhamdulillah Allahu Akbar. Pull up my legal pad, jotted all my pain down. Don't like the bus no more. I travel on the train now. I travel on the train now. Don't like the bus no more. I travel on the train now. Just know my presence done got heavy. Please don't think of me no more. Shayla, what's going on? New collective and perspective. This ain't nothing like before. Y'all ready? All right. Let me share this. This ain't nothing like before. On location now. All right. Like, let me share this. We live, baby. Early predictions. And yeah, my Yankees lost. Yeah, it sucked. No, I didn't think we was going to win after we went down 3-0. Yes, it hurts. But you know what hurts even more? What you sipping on today? Man, listen. Yeah, that Kodak smile. Yeah, we live, baby. 1 second. I'm finna turn up with y'all again. I got some calls yesterday. Whole lot of homies called. Because I got beautiful homegirls. And I had to tell them, y'all don't qualify. I'm the mean friend. Sorry. Give me 1 second. We're going to get this started. We're going to get this thing started. Hey, brother. Man, I see this one girl. She said she messed with you, bruh. She said she your homie. Yeah, she is. Man, put me on. You ain't got the money. We buy flights. If my homie can't afford to put his girl on a flight, can't rock with us. So, because yesterday got so crazy, I only got this bottle right here. We're only turning up with this little bottle right here. Sorry, people. I know y'all wanted the big turn up, and that's exactly what I'm about to give y'all. It's the big turn up. What y'all thought this was? What y'all thought my name was? My name, Big Setting Ass. Yes, Lord. Pop the bottom. Early predictions. Shannon takes the deal, and Young Thug and YAK GOTTI take it to trial. Why? Well, Nikhil, what's up, baby? Who has the most to lose now? Who's facing a life sentence? That's Shannon. Early predictions, I ain't talked to nobody. I don't want to talk to nobody. No anything like that. I don't know anybody on Shannon's team or anything like that. I'm trying to tell y'all. When I said what I said the other day, and y'all called it a prediction, it wasn't necessarily a prediction. What it was deducing. It was calculations. Y'all remember the people who used to sit with the whiteboards and put up all these pictures and draw all these arrows and stuff, and you would need to be told what the heck is going on? You would need to be told that, like, all right, why does this arrow go here? Why does this arrow go here? Why does this arrow go here? Well, Shannon is facing a life sentence. The state showed too much of their hand. Here we go.
All right. It is my understanding that the state and Mr. Williams were very close to a negotiated agreement, but have reached an impasse, and that it is Mr. Williams' desire to enter a non-negotiated.
Yeah,
is that correct?
That's what we talking about.
Am I misinformed?
Moment, please.
Right.
Whoo.
Y'all need a minute in private?
Yes.
Okay. All right, we can recess.
Wow. Wow. He was ready to take it to trial. I don't see how he walks out of that courtroom with a plea deal where he's not a felon. Maybe he gets some time served, do about a year, get a bunch of probation, take the First Offenders Act, and then gets it dropped down. Because what is, you take a robbery, you take an armed robbery, and you drop it down to a robbery. I believe that takes the violent part out of it. No, she's not misinformed. No. That no. They're not gonna bring. First off, nah. She wasn't. The judge ain't misinformed. It's Thug who said, because when he basically say nah, that's it. Yeah, but there's so much I want to say. Bro. I ain't gonna hold you. This I'm gonna still pop up. I'm gonna still show up for YAK GOTTI though. I don't care. But I ain't gonna hold you. From what's understood, Thug was never offered a plea deal, anyways. So even though his mama said, "Yeah, don't become no felon," we still gotta sit there and look at everything for what it is. It's some BS. Yeah, you ain't wrong. I don't know because they put him as the founder. So that's the part where it gets real weird. But Thug was never offered a plea deal, so I don't know. I don't know. Why they don't give him all the offer to let him go on suspended sentences? Because selfishly, I want Young Thug to not be a felon. So when he get out, and it's just selfishly. So when he get out, he can just run, go on another run, go complete this second act that you're supposed to. That's selfishly, but I'm not in that man's shoes. I told y'all before. In a video I made before, I said, bro, you gotta look at it for what it is. You gotta look at it for what it is. Your kids are. I don't see how the state just lets him plead to a misdemeanor. I don't see how. I'm not saying it's not true. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying I don't know how the state lets him skate with a freaking misdemeanor. I just don't see it. Well, what's the point? And I'm not saying nobody's wrong. I'm just saying I don't see it. Yeah, but Gunner's probation is up next year. And Gunner is now officially a felon, by the way. Gunner's a felon. So there's that part. Shannon still got an M1 charge. Will this change how people look at Thug? No. It's not going to hurt his brand at all. It's not going to do anything. It's not going to do anything. I mean, shoot, what is it? Ultimately, what is a plea deal going to do? As long as he don't turn around and tell on nobody, as long as you don't walk in that courtroom, do like this, or do like this, and do like this. I'm gonna tell the truth. If his plea deal looks like, what's Cuz name? Like Quamarvius Nichols? It don't hurt nothing. Said why another streamer said, I don't care, bruh. MBG Gaming, kick him out. I care what another streamer say about me, bruh. What do I care about what somebody else got to say about me? I'm sorry, I don't care. Let them say whatever they want to say about me. I don't care. What you talking about? You think I care what anybody? If it ain't good, then leave it be. If ain't nobody bigging me up, peace. Care what nobody got to say about me. If it ain't good, I don't care. So go run and tell that. Why another streamer? What do I care about proving something to you streamers and to you people in the comments? What do I care? Bruh, won't you? How about this? You go down there and then you ask them and then see if you leave. Tell that streamer, go pull up and tell them that. Yeah, get up out of here. Oh, you thought you was going to get some free content today. Care about them? All right, bro, listen. Everybody going to say a whole bunch of things. Some good, some bad, some indifferent, all that crap. So, don't care. Do not care. Will not care. Nah, bro, I don't even understand that weirdo shit. Like, why do I care about what the next person got to say about me? They coming at me because I was talking big stuff coming at you. You can do that. I don't care. AK can do it. I don't give a damn. Nobody cares. If AK talking trash, so be it. I don't get it, man. Oops. It's been going on 4 years. If we ain't turned on each other by now, it just ain't gonna happen. Sorry, y'all. Me and AK ain't turned on each other by now. It's going on 4 years almost. It just ain't gonna happen. So, sorry. But anybody want to talk street stuff and all that stuff on the internet, I don't, man. As far as I go, you know where I'm from. Go pull up. Go ask them. That's all you gotta do. Get a camera. Hop out. Doug Weinstein and the Setting Nash, you heard it here, Doug will not have a felony. I mean, it's possible. I don't see what this, personally, I don't see what the state gets out of letting the man that y'all said is the height of it, is the freaking top of the mountain. Y'all got to understand. It goes like this. DK, Tick, and mother freaking Young Thug as the starters of this. Then it goes down to another tier where it's Thug and then mother freaking Gunner as the second in charge and giving out all commands. How do you let the head of all of this crap? How do you let the head off with just a misdemeanor? If it's back on, we would see it right now. So I'm not saying, look, personally, I hope you get off, beat all charges. If you plead out to a misdemeanor, you can expunge it off your record in 5 years, depending on your freaking lawyer, you can get it off in 4. So I'm not about to sit up here, parade and BS. I'm not about to do that. But what I will do and what I will say is, the state still has to try to spin this. It's not just about convictions. It's felony convictions. You can get a felony, so it don't matter, bro. You can get a felony expunged depending on what type of felony it is. You don't get a violent felony, you get it expunged down the line, you can go back to owning firearms. You just got to stay on the straight and narrow for, I believe, 10 years. You go 10 years, no trouble, you can get that expunged, and you're back to being a regular individual. If that's the case, then that'd be the case. 7 years in Florida, shout out. But let's understand something. I personally don't want anybody that's innocent of this crap to turn around and lose their life for some stuff that they didn't do. Just gonna keep it authentic with you. Yeah, how's the case Slobbin ain't got no evidence against him? There's those who would say, hey, all evidence is circumstantial unless you got it on camera. Meaning you got to spin it that type of way. So, okay, Trey said it. Oh, right. Yo, I'm weak. Hold on. Scott, what up? So y'all playing with me? Yes, Lord. Sorry, halftime over. I thought y'all would have been sharing it after that. That's how I act in my parents' bedroom Friday night as well. I'm crying. This is actually my spare bedroom that I'm in. I'm actually currently still constructing my my other side of my house. I'm about to put an Airbnb up on the side of my house, so that's gonna be fun. Yeah, I mean, y'all see? I didn't wear the green for no reason. I didn't wear the green for no reason. This ain't, yeah. Here's the crazy part. This channel ain't gonna be monetized until tomorrow. So shoot. Cut up, have fun. Said if he takes a plea, how many years you think? I think he gonna go heavy on the probation, and then heavy on the probation. Because that's the best thing for the state. The way the state would spin it, and y'all know Seti Nash is in an open relationship with Adrian Love. So I got to do my PR service for my baby, right? The state would have to spin it this way. We have negotiated plea deals to where if any one of these defendants get out of line, they will be back in the penitentiary for decades. If I'm going to spin it for the state, the number one thing that I'm going to spin it is these plea deals are negotiated to keep these guys in line. You could talk about Fulton County being overpopulated. You could talk about reform and a pathway to being a productive citizen and all of that crap. Like, you could spin it as far as a win for the state, because the state has to. I know, bro. Thug did look like it's like you could taste the door, you could taste the freedom, you could taste the air. You could taste everything. It's all right there. Does he plead? Hell yeah. So pleading no contest with a license is crazy, ain't it? So it just looked like Shannon and YAK gonna be in there, and I ain't gonna hold you. I'm still gonna report on it. I rock with YAK Gotti, I do, but yeah. Hello, I know, right? Mm. Depends on how much time you need. Well, because we're doing a live stream right now. That's why I said that. You got that car? Are you working on it? You the goat. Hey! Snap. You the goat. Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah. You know. But try to get that drawn like after Thanksgiving, so that way I can put a fat down payment on it. Or just cash it out completely. You the dopest. Hey, shout out. Man, I don't even be trying to be a comedian. It's just natural. But yeah, it gotta be like the little step thing gotta come out, all that. Like, I'm gonna show you exactly what I'm talking about because they got it on Toro. It's the one I'll be driving in Atlanta. So yeah. All right, it's gonna be from a 916 number. All right. The best, hey, you're the best around. Man, I'm finna be doing free promo for this dealership. Yeah, I'm about to be doing free promo for a dealership in Cincinnati in a minute. So if y'all see me in a frog suit or a Liberty suit, and y'all see me on the corner waving a sign, and you call me a sellout, I did. You call me a sellout. She getting paid, man. She really get paid tens of thousands. What you mean? Hey, listen. That's why you be nice to people when you can. You hear me? I'm a very nice person. I don't care what nobody say. They can say whatever they want. I'm a this, I'm a that. You ever meet me in real life? I'm like, hey, that dude cooler than the other side of the pillow. I like that dude. That dude ain't so bad. Ain't nobody who met Seti Nash. Nah, she ain't give me no free. Nah, not this car. You know what Y'all out your mind. Nah. Mm-mm. Just know, I pulled this one off, and I'm not even materialistic. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not a materialistic person. Promos where the money is at. Depends. I don't ever want to promo something that I truly don't believe in. That's why when people be asking me, like, "Hey, bro, what's your promo prices cost?" On me, I'm not really, I'm not really that guy. I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not that guy because the type of man that I am, I won't even allow you. I ain't gonna hold you. I won't even allow you to tell me what you gonna do at all. You can't nobody tell me what they gonna do. Yeah, nah. Nah, it's not that. It's just that I've seen a couple of times where people have done some things and signed on to some things, and basically it wasn't that. It just wasn't that. Like I'm not I'm not trying to say I'm better than anybody because I'm better than a soul on earth. But what I am trying to say is I don't personally and particularly care about certain stuff. Like certain things just ain't gonna fly with me. And when it comes out that there's a bad product, there's a bad anything or anything like that, like I don't ever want to be one of those individuals who had to come out and then make all type of excuses. And it really derives from the Tulsa project with the J, whatever his name is, and Boyce Watkins and all them. And I don't know how much Boyce Watkins was involved in this crap, but from what it looked like, it was like a Tulsa. It was a Tulsa fund basically about real estate. It's like a Tulsa real estate fund. And when I seen it, I'm like, these cats have never been to Tulsa.
All right, Mr. Steele, Mr. Adams, Mr. Williams, where are we? Ready to go forward? All right. Coming up here to the podium.
What she I put on going forward.
All right, Sergeant, can you swear in Mr. Williams?
What are we doing?
Jeffrey Williams, Jefffery, Williams.
Good afternoon, Mr. Williams.
Good afternoon.
Are you the same Jeffrey?
Oh, no.
In case number, Your Honor,
Yes, ma'am.
actually, have we all signed the indictment, or are we going to do that afterwards? Because I don't have a copy of it.
I don't know the answer to that.
I don't believe that we have.
If not signed indictment.
Okay, probably be a good idea to do that.
Does anyone have a copy? You don't? Okay.
Where's the one we were using yesterday? We'll do that in just a minute. You can go ahead with the colloquy.
And Your Honor, we don't have the waiver form as well. I believe that the court had one.
That right here.
I've got blanks. Y'all filled one out, right?
We have it.
He just took a plea.
Thank you. Mr. Williams, are you the same Jeffrey Williams indicted in case number 22SC1833572?
Yes.
Okay. And are you also known as Young Thug?
Yes.
Are you at this time taking or under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medication?
No.
Is there any medication that you normally take that you have not been given today?
No.
How old are you?
33.
And how far have you gone in school?
9.
Say that one more time.
9.
Okay. Are you able to read, write, and understand the English language?
Yes.
All right. Do you understand that you are charged with the following offenses? Conspiracy to violate the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, participation in criminal street gang activity, the leadership charge, participation in criminal street gang activity, violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, 3 counts, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, and possession of a machine gun. Do you understand that?
Yes.
What? Nigga, what?
And do you understand that you have the right to plead either guilty or not guilty to these charges? And that if you plead not guilty or remain silent, you will continue to receive a jury trial.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
And
Hold on.
have you received this waiver of rights form that I hold in my hand from your attorney and reviewed it with your attorney?
Yes.
All right. And is this your signature on the bottom of this form?
Yes.
Have you had enough time to speak with your attorneys, Mr. Steele and Mr. Adams, about all of the facts and circumstances known to you regarding the charges in indictment 22 SC 183572, including any potential defenses?
Yes.
Do you need additional time to discuss this case with your attorneys?
No.
Are you satisfied with their services?
Yes.
Mr. Steele and Mr. Adams, do you on behalf of Mr. Williams waive a formal reading of this indictment?
Yes, Your Honor. You do.
And do you, Mr. Williams, waive any and all defects in this indictment, including any with respect to your name?
Yes.
Have you been arrested on these charges?
Yes.
The state is unaware of any outstanding warrants related to these charges. Do you or your attorneys know of any outstanding warrants related to these charges?
Any what?
Outstanding warrants related to any of the charges in the indictment?
No,
No.
I don't believe so either, Your Honor.
Okay, and I'm unaware of any as well, Your Honor.
I am as well.
Thank you. Have your attorneys advised you of the minimum and maximum sentence for each of the crimes that you are charged with?
Yes.
And each of the charges that you are pleading guilty to?
Yes.
Your Honor, with respect to the charges that Mr. Williams faces, count 1 carries a minimum charge of 5 years and a maximum charge of 20 years in prison or up to a $25,000 fine or both.
Isn't it a $15,000 fine because wasn't it the version of the statute in effect at the time, or was that the same for RICO? Was RICO 25?
Yes, Rico was
Okay.
25.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Count 56 carries a minimum sentence of 5 years in prison, a maximum of 20 years in prison, consecutive to any other sentence, with a fine of $10,000 to $15,000 or both.
Okay.
Count 57 carries a minimum sentence of 5 years in prison and a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison. Count 58 carries a minimum sentence of 1 and a maximum sentence of 10 years in prison. Count 59 carries a sentence range of 5 to 30 years in prison. Count 60 carries a sentence.
Hang on, slow down just a second. All right, and that's for the amount of that drug that was found on 59, 5 to 30?
That's as a result of the charge itself, I believe, with intent to distribute.
I think that 59, Your Honor, is simple possession of cocaine. I have to look at the indictment to
I
be
think
sure.
that's 60.
Y'all don't want to know what I'm really thinking. The liquor is going to... Y'all not going to like me after what I say, what I'm going to say. Just let me see how this look.
And Your Honor,
59 is codeine and
Yes,
60 is cocaine.
yes.
So,
Your Honor, it is with the intent to distribute, so my reading of the statute is that it carries the range of 5 to 30.
okay.
And Your Honor, also, as I have the indictment in my hand for Ms. Rosser, may I pass it to counsel for Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Thank you.
Nah, Brittany. No. No,
Your
Brittany.
Honor, with the court's permission, I'll permit time
Go
for
ahead.
them to, okay. Count 60 carries a range of 1 to 5 years in prison. Count 61 carries a mandatory 5 years consecutive to the underlying felony. Count 62 carries a sentence of 10 years consecutive for a total maximum exposure of 120 years in prison. Were you aware of that, Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Do you understand that neither the court nor the district attorney's office has anything to do with parole or the Department of Corrections or the Board of Pardons and Paroles, and that if you are sentenced to confinement in the Georgia Department of Corrections, no one can guarantee parole?
You can say yes.
What?
Yes, you can say that.
Oh, yes, yes, ma'am.
Parole.
Your Honor, may I allow Mr. Williams time to finish signing the indictment?
K.A.
Just let me see how this. I don't want to say nothing right now because it ain't good.
Your Honor, with permission, may I approach with a member of Mr. Williams' team?
It probably ain't gonna be Brian Still, probably Keith Adams. This bad, bro. He ain't going home. He going to the penitentiary. Young Thug going to prison. What you mean? He ain't going home. I hope I'm wrong. Swear to God, I hope I'm wrong. He not going home, bro. Nigga not going home, cuz on the set. Home my ass. Home mean Georgia Department of Corrections. That's what home is. And I ain't gonna hold you. She probably finna get that man 7. They finna let the judge decide. It's in Whitaker's hands. That's what the non-shit is
Mr. Williams, do you understand that this is a non-negotiated plea of guilty, and that since your guilty plea is a blind plea or a non-negotiated plea, the state is making a recommendation of sentencing to the court, notwithstanding the fact that this is a blind plea?
Yeah.
You understand that, Mr. Williams? Okay. And Mr. Williams, were you aware of the state's previous offer?
Yeah. Just holler at me in a minute because I'm live streaming
prior
right
to
now.
your
So
making this
I'll get to-
non-negotiated plea.
Yes.
All right.
All right. And Your Honor, at this time, the state is making a recommendation of 45 years with 25 to serve in custody, followed by 20 on probation, subject to the special requirements of 1654, the gang statute.
All right, and do you want to break down for me what your recommended sentence on each count is?
Yes, Your Honor. The state is recommending on count 1, 5 years to serve. Count 56, 20 years to serve consecutively to count 1. Count Count 57, 5 years of probation to serve consecutively to count 56. Count 58, 10 years of probation to serve concurrently with count 57. Count 59, 5 years of probation to serve concurrently with count 57 and 58. Count 60, 5 years of probation concurrent with count 57, 58, and 59. Count 61, 5 years of probation consecutive to count 57. And count 62, 10 years of probation consecutive to count 61.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Williams, did you discuss the state's previous offer with your attorneys?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, and so we're all clear that we're talking about the same thing. Can you put what the state's previous offer was on the record for me, please?
I can, Your Honor.
Thank you.
The state's previous offer was a total of 43 years with 20 years, 5 years to serve on count 56, commuted to time served, followed by 15 years on probation. On count 58, the sentence was 10 years to serve in the Georgia Department of Corrections, consecutive to count 56. Count 59 was 3 years to serve in the Georgia Department of Corrections, consecutive to counts 56 and 58. Count 60 was 5 years to serve in the Georgia Department of Corrections, consecutive to counts 56, 58, and 59. Count 61 was 5 years to serve in the Georgia Department of Corrections, consecutive to counts 56, 58, 59, and 60.
Was that the entirety of what the sentence was?
No, Your Honor,
I mean, I
I'm
know
still
there were
reading.
special conditions, so y'all were
There
in
are.
null pros,
Yeah,
1
yeah.
and 62?
Yes, as part of the recommended sentence, in exchange for the defendant agreeing to the special conditions that we asked the court to impose, the state was willing to null pros count 1, count 57, and count 62.
Okay, and then all of that consecutive to the probation, that was going to be what we call backloaded, and what were y'all proposing with regard to that, since it was the total of the probated sentence?
The total sentence was 43 years to serve, with the first 5 years in prison commuted to time served, followed by 15 years on probation, followed by 23 years in prison, which would have been served in confinement, except that if defendant had complied with the special conditions of probation imposed as part of this sentence, the backloaded portion of defendant's sentence would have been commuted. However, should defendant have violated any special condition of probation within the first 15 years of his sentence, his probated sentence would have immediately been revoked, and he would have been required to serve the entire remainder of his sentence confined to the Georgia Department of Corrections.
All right, so as long as he had successfully completed his 15 years of probation, the 23 years that was going to follow it was going to be commuted to time served as long as his probation was successful. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor,
Okay.
and the special, would the court like for us to?
No, I was really more interested in the length of sentence and what y'all had. I mean, I know you didn't reach agreement, but y'all, that's what the last offer had been, with, of course, a bunch of special conditions, which I guess is where the hang-up is. I don't know.
Right, defendant did not want to agree to the
Okay.
special conditions.
All right, is that basically your understanding too, Mr.
Yes, Your
Steele
Honor.
and
It would
Mr.
have been,
Evans?
yes, Your Honor, Mr. Williams would have been released today for 15 years on probation. If he successfully completes that probation, then he would not have to go to custody. If he did not, he'd face probation revocation as well as 23 years as the court said, backloaded in the Georgia prison system. But we could not come to terms on all the conditions that the district attorney was insisting on.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Go ahead, Ms. Love.
Okay. And Mr. Williams, were you aware of that previous offer as well as all of the requirements that that offer would have entailed?
Yes.
Okay. And had you had enough time to discuss that particular offer with your attorneys?
Yes.
All right,
The previous one?
the previous offer.
It's up
Do
to
you
the judge.
understand that the court can impose any sentence authorized by law, including a higher sentence than that recommended by the state, up to the maximum sentence on each charge in this indictment? Do you understand that, Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Do you understand that if you enter into a non-negotiated plea, you do not have a right to withdraw your plea once the sentence has been announced?
Yes.
Do you understand that this is a guilty plea which is permanently recorded on your criminal history?
Yes.
Do you understand that this plea may be used?
All that bullshit talking y'all been doing, harassing Reese Whitaker, bruh. Y'all better shut the man. Listen, shut the fuck up. Don't bash her until it's over. Don't even put that juju in the air, nigga. On neighborhood crip. Don't put that on that. Don't put that bad juju in the air right now. That's bad Jew, nigga. Whitaker showed love to a lot of niggas in that courtroom. I'll tell you that right now.
to enhance sentencing on up, but not allowed to possess or use a firearm while on probation?
Yes.
Do you understand that if you are not a United States citizen, a guilty plea conviction will affect your immigration status
That's where we at right
and will
now.
result in deportation, just like a conviction at a trial would, and that this is true regardless of any advice by your attorney or anyone else?
Yes.
Do you understand that neither the court, your attorney, nor the district attorney's office has anything to do with parole, and the Department of Corrections or Board of Pardons and Paroles, and that no one can guarantee parole no matter what anyone has told you?
Yes.
Do you understand that there may be other adverse or unfavorable consequences as a result of this guilty plea conviction, just as there would be from a conviction following a trial? For example, your guilty plea may affect the right to vote, the right to hold public office, the right to serve on a jury, the right to obtain a passport, the right to receive, possess, or transport a firearm, or the ability to obtain employment. Do you understand that, Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty to a felony, if you use, receive, possess, or transport a firearm, or if you use a firearm in a crime, you will be guilty of a felony, which may carry a sentence of up to 1 to 15 years in prison?
Yes.
Okay. Do you understand that you waive any and all defenses, including any mental health defenses, by entering a plea of guilty?
Yes.
Do you understand that if you went to trial, you would have the right to, that if you continued at trial, rather, you would continue?
Y'all notice how it's Miss Love reading this shit? Y'all notice how it ain't Hilton reading this shit? These bitches ain't slick. I'm breaking up with her tonight.
To have the right to. Do you understand that?
Yes.
The right to remain silent and not incriminate yourself?
Yes.
The right to confront witnesses against you?
Yes.
The right to continued assistance of counsel hired by you or to court-appointed counsel if you cannot afford an attorney at the continued trial of your case?
Yes.
The right to the presumption of innocence?
Yes.
The right to testify on your own behalf and to present other evidence?
Yes.
The right to subpoena witnesses and compel the production of evidence?
Yes.
The right to have the charges against you proven beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yes.
The right to appeal if convicted of these charges after a trial. Do you
Yes.
understand?
Yes.
Has anyone forced, threatened, or promised you anything to get you to enter a guilty plea?
No.
Is it your decision to waive these rights and enter a guilty plea because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
Well, Your Honor, may I interject?
You may.
Your Honor, on count one, which is the racketeering conspiracy count, Mr. Williams is tendering a plea under nolo contendere. As to count 56, which is participation in a criminal street gang activity as being a leader or a supervisor or organizer, Mr. Williams is also tendering a plea to this honorable court as under nolo contendere. The balance of the count, so he is tendering a guilty plea.
Your Honor,
Yes, ma'am.
would the court like to hear from the state or?
Nah, shut up, bitch.
About the NOLO issues?
Yes, sir.
Sure.
Your Honor, the state asked that the court not accept a nolo plea and require either a guilty plea or a not guilty plea as to these charges.
All right. I'm going to permit a NOLO plea as to counts 1 and 56.
All right. Mr. Williams. As to count 57, participation in criminal street gang activity, how do you plead?
I plead guilty.
As to count 58, violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, how do you plead?
Guilty.
As to count 59, violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, how do you plead?
Guilty.
As to count 60, violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, how do you plead?
Guilty.
As to count 61, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, how do you plead?
Guilty.
And as to count 1, conspiracy to violate the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, how do you plead?
No law.
As to count 56, participation in criminal street gang activity under the leadership charge, how do you plead?
No law.
All right.
I
Okay.
think you didn't ask about count 62.
Nigga, because that was
As
going to
to
make him
count-
civilly
thank you,
liable.
As
For.
to count 62, possession of a machine gun, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty to the offenses you have indicated because you are in fact guilty of these charges?
Yes.
Fuck!
Are your guilty pleas and your NOLO pleas freely and voluntarily given with the full knowledge of the charges against you?
Yes.
Do you understand that you may have only a limited right to appeal this guilty plea conviction?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have only 4 years from today's date for a felony charge and 12 months from today's date you don't have a misdemeanor charge? But to file a habeas corpus petition challenging the voluntariness and constitutionality of this guilty plea.
Yes.
Your Honor, also, do you,
You have 30 days from today to file a direct appeal from this guilty plea and until the end of this term of court to file a motion seeking to withdraw the guilty plea, which does not mean it would be granted, but that's the time period, okay?
What's a direct appeal?
Well, you can talk to your attorneys more about it, but it would be up to one of the, like the Court of Appeals, I think is where this one would go. Those are just the time periods.
and Your Honor, the state, in addition to the sentence we are asking that the court to impose,
Okay.
we would also be asking the court to require or to forfeit, have defendant forfeit all of the property that has been seized and that is currently being held, that was found or recovered or taken from his home after it was searched on May 9th.
Do you have any kind of list of what that property is? I mean, I'm not familiar.
Yeah,
with
bitch, we need it. We
seized.
cars.
We're not.
We
We're not
do.
agreeing.
Oh, I mean, I assume y'all aren't agreeing to anything.
We're not agreeing to that.
It's a negotiated plea.
We're not. but we do have a list of the
All right.
property
Do you have
items.
it where available right now?
Yes, actually, would the court permit us to send it electronically?
Sure,
Because
that's fine. And then, if that is not imposed as a condition, is it just get litigated as like any forfeiture matter?
Yeah,
Yeah, it would be litigated later on,
It's
yes.
a civil separate filing in this court. It's not related to the criminal.
Alright.
It's related case, but it's unrelated.
Understood.
And we are sending that to Your Honor
Thank you.
at this time. And as it relates to the conditions of
I'm
a
finna snap. I ain't
conviction
gonna hold
under
you.
1615,
They
Your
finna
Honor,
hate me,
we would
nigga. I'm
ask
finna
for,
snap.
as part of the sentence, defendant would be required to adhere
Nah, cause look, when I was on that side, they was like, nigga, fuck you.
requirements, the sentencing
First, I
requirements
listened to
of
your
the gang
podcast.
statute, which
I listened to your podcast. You said go
part
with the
require
people. That's what you
not
said.
associate with any gang members whatsoever. And I can read the rest of that into the record if the court requires, or I can continue with the factual basis.
All right, and let me ask you, because I know, that at least while you
I ain't gonna lie,
negotiating,
nigga.
one
I'm
of
finna
the
reveal some shit.
things
I'm going viral.
that I guess was being negotiated was some exception for, I think, somebody that is contractually
Yeah, his no low
obligated
price
on
as a
his
head
record
nigga.
label.
That's where he
Is that
didn't.
something
He would have been
that the
fucked.
state would still be in agreement to?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
All right. Your Honor, as part of the requirements of
Oh no, make it simple. Make it simple.
15,
Lucci locked
for-
up, Thug locked up, Hood Rich Pablo locked up,
Yes.
Drug Rich is locked up. That's it.
defendant would, one moment, Your Honor.
Yeah. So, all right.
Under 1615-4, in addition to any other penalty
I'm gonna do my
provided by the code section,
I'm gonna do my video
all
and then
sentences
if you go live,
imposed
I'm
under
gonna
the
hop on.
code section shall require as a special condition of the sentence that the person sentenced shall not knowingly
Hold on
have.
just a tad, because there's a court reporter taking it down. And when we start reading, we.
Shut up, love.
Go ahead.
This code section shall require as a special condition of the sentence that the person sentenced shall not knowingly have contact of any kind or character with any other member or associate of a criminal street gang, shall not participate in any criminal gang activity, and in cases involving a victim, shall not knowingly have contact of any kind or character with any such victim or any member of any such victim's family or household. So that is, and we've listed in our indictment the victims of the crimes, the overt acts that have been committed, and under the basic conspiracy law, those are the victims that we are naming. Your Honor, as this case has been tried and would continue to be tried until the state completed its case in chief, the evidence has shown that the defendant, throughout the time between 2013 to 2022, conspired with both indicted and unindicted co-conspirators to participate in the enterprise known as Young Slime Life, or YSL, through a pattern of racketeering activity. Throughout that time, multiple conspirators, both indicted and unindicted, and including the defendant, have committed overt acts intended to further the enterprise itself. With regard to the defendant, as far back, the evidence has shown, as 2013, the defendant, along with other YSL founding members, Walter Murphy, for one, committed an aggravated assault and armed robbery against Derek Dotson. The court has heard evidence of that presented through Adrian Bean, who was a co-conspirator in that particular.
Which means the case that we heard, we're still fought to say Young Thug couldn't fit in the back of that car. He lied. And we all knew it.
Act, the armed robbery of an Archillian Bennett back in 2013. As alleged in the indictment, defendant and unindicted and indicted co-conspirators committed acts to further YSL that included drug sales, aggravated assault, and murder. They used and furthered, rather, this conspiracy by using social media posts and music to assert the violent nature of and the dominance of Young Slime Life, which is also known as YSL. The defendant is charged with being a leader of the gang YSL, and evidence has been presented by accomplices and co-founders of YSL, Trontavia Stevens and Walter Murphy, and evidence would have been presented, in the words of the defendant himself, that the defendant, as shown by some of his own social media postings, was the founder, one of the founders of YSL, along with Mr. Stevens and Mr. Murphy. YSL formed, according to the evidence that has come out in this trial, in 2012, 2013, under the former version of the name of the gang called Rock Crew or Raised on Cleveland. The court has heard evidence of the 2014 and 2015 incidents that have involved conflicts between YSL members and IF gang members, that included someone shooting the window of Mr. Williams' car and armed individuals rushing outside during shootings at Club Crucial to ensure Mr. Williams' safety, shootings at a place called the Dugout where armed individuals rushed to ensure Mr. Williams' safety, shootings at Mr. Kelvin Watts committed by members of YSL, communication with members of YSL after those incidents, and ultimately the murder of Donovan Thomas at the hands of members of YSL. The evidence has shown and will show that on January 10th of 2015, members of YSL drove a car rented by the defendant, a gray Infiniti.
Nigga, this make you a snitch.
Past Mr. Thomas as he stood outside of a barber shop, congregating with friends, and unloaded an array of bullets on Mr. Thomas, hitting him, his Chevrolet Tahoe, and two other persons in the process.
Nigga, this...
Mr. Thomas died from those bullets. Phone records show that communication was held between Mr. Williams, Mr. Kelvin Treadwell, Mr. Demise McMullen, corroborating accomplice testimony that has been presented in this courtroom regarding what happened, who committed the murder, and what happened to the guns and the vehicles that were used.
Y'all realize he just basically said, yeah, nigga. Yeah, everything you saying about me is true. It don't matter the bitch ass niggas that's on the stand.
Used in the murder. To Miami, money to lay low as they left the city following the murder of Mr. Thomas. The evidence has shown the ensuing conflict that occurred after Mr. Thomas was killed. It has shown shootings at Mr. Rashawn Bennett's home, shootings at Mr. Darren Mills' mother's home, and I said Mr. Rashawn Bennett's mother's home. shootings unrelated to the conflict with members of If Gang, of a Lil Wayne tour bus. That shooting followed the confronting by Atlanta Police Department of members of YSL that drove to the compound where Lil Wayne was making an appearance, and who drove there with the intent to disrupt and cause harm and to shoot up Lil Wayne's tour bus. Lil Wayne was another artist with whom Mr. Williams was having conflict, according to the testimony that had been presented. Mr. Williams
You want me to let him hear you?
at that time.
Go ahead. Hold on. You're speaking now. Go ahead.
Can y'all hear me?
They can hear you, nigga.
Everything that they saying, most of that shit Woody said in interrogation. So it don't matter what that nigga said on the stand. They pleading guilty. Thug is pleading guilty to a lot of shit that Woody said in that motherfucking interrogation room in the story.
Get your drunk ass off my phone.
With a mixtape that carried the name of an album that Mr. Carter was set to release and was not able to because his label would not allow that to happen. That caused a contractual or the threat of a lawsuit. It caused Mr. Williams angst. He posted about it. He said derogatory things about the persons who were threatening him with the lawsuit. And as a result, he had to rename his mixtape to something different than what he initially intended. The person who ultimately was convicted of shooting that tour bus up, Jimmy Winfrey, is a person that I believe that recordings have come in regarding jail phone calls, rather, from Mr. Winfrey and members of YSL regarding communication about getting a lawyer. Following the shootings that occurred in 2015, music, social media postings, and other overt acts were committed by Mr. Williams and other members of YSL, taunting members of groups that they considered opposition to YSL, posting of threats of violence by members of YSL against those people. Specifically,
Bitch, your
the
phone
music,
going
Your
off?
Honor, contained lyrics such as the following. I rep my life for real. For slimes, you know I kill.
Brad just got a body. He completed that drill.
I shoot at your mammy, need to stand down. I up my stamina, take it to trial, get an appeal, take it to trial. Pay for that casket, that's just if we whack them. YSL slimy and shady, watch me whack that bitch, pop them like assist, Glock with the assist.
Come on, bitch. Come on, bitch.
It also consisted of a song wherein Mr. Williams sang or rapped the lyrics. Hey, this is that slime shit.
Hey.
That YSL shit.
Hey.
Killing 12 shit.
Hey.
L shit.
Hey.
I'm in the VIP. I got the pistol on my hip.
Hey.
Fuck the police.
Hey.
You praying that you live. I'm praying that I hit. That slime shit. 100 rounds in a Tahoe. I'm prepared to take them down. Got banana clips.
But I own what?
These ends acting monkey. This is that slime shit. This is that mob shit.
Yeah.
Fuck the judge.
Fuck the judge.
This that mob life.
Yeah. This that slime shit. YSL shit. Fuck 12 shit.
Released a video on YouTube of a song wherein he states, I shot at his mommy. Now he no longer
I
mentions
shot at
me.
his mama and now he no longer mention me. Yeah, come on, bitch.
Act like you want war, and
Uh-huh.
they're gonna smoke you like a blunt.
Uh-huh.
Another song, I escaped every one of the licks because I was supposed to be rich. I don't care nothing about a cop. I'm just telling you how it is.
Mm-hmm.
I done did the robbing. I done did the jacking. Now I'm full rapping.
Uh-huh.
Gave the lawyer close to $2 million. He handles all the killing.
Uh-huh.
We don't speak about shit on wax.
Nope.
It's all my business.
Yep.
We know to kill the biggest cat
Uh-huh.
of all
The
kittens.
kittens. Yep. Uh-huh. Come on, bitch. Turn up. I'm back in the living. Ooh.
In another song, I was on
Bleaving.
stuck like a magnet.
Uh-huh.
Bitch ass N-word.
Uh-huh.
Pay for that casket.
Uh-huh.
That's just if we whack them.
Yep. Come on, bitch. Run it.
And yet another song, Defendant Williams raps, red just like Elmo.
But I don't-
never fucking giggle.
No.
YSL won't fold.
YSL won't fold.
Wipe a ends
Wipe a
nose.
nigga nose, bitch.
I'm gonna F for the cash, then she getting robbed.
By a tick. Yep. Come
a
on.
reference to Trontavious Stevens.
Why
All
is
I
that
ever
to
wanted
be
was the
told?
money.
Why
Put your
so
hands in the air
awful?
if you
Slap.
F and N, put them in a
Fucking
wheelchair.
nigga, put him in a wheelchair. Come on, bitch. Come on, bitch. I'm not coming back to that courtroom, so fuck Miss Love.
And even later on,
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Williams, and I believe that this was in 2019, made a post to YFN.
If I ain't allow your mama, I would have killed you by now. Come
If
on.
I ain't like what you do for
Your
your mother
mama,
and kids,
I would have killed you. Yep, uh-huh. Come on, bitch.
And in yet another song entitled Anybody, Defendant Williams stated, I never killed anybody, but I got something to do with that body.
Uh-huh.
I got the streets on my back,
Uh-huh.
carry it like I'm moving a body.
Uh-huh.
I told them to shoot 100 rounds like he trying to movie the body.
Uh-huh.
Ready for war like I'm Russia.
Uh-huh.
I get all types of cash.
Yep.
I'm a general.
Bitch, say that was like you got some salt and pepper in your step, bitch. I ain't coming back to the courtroom.
As Mr. Williams' prominence in the music industry rose, his ascension within or in leadership in the gang YSL became more apparent as he rapped and talked about the crimes that YSL co-conspirators and members committed and how he got away with robberies. With respect to the Donovan Thomas murder,
Mm-hmm.
the court has heard evidence through phone records that within 6 minutes of the shooting of Donovan Thomas Jr., a phone call was made from Demise McMullen's cell phone to Defendant Williams' phone. And then immediately after that call, Mr. Williams calls his sister Dora Greer and then calls Kelvin Treadwell. There's then a series of calls between Dora Greer and Treadwell, and then Treadwell calls Demise McMullen or Nard. All of those calls happen within 15 minutes of the 911 call. And as I have stated before, the court has heard accomplice prior inconsistent statements about who committed the murder itself and what happened afterwards. The conflict between YSL and members of IF Gang continued into 2019, wherein Mr. Williams raps the lyrics that I referred to earlier. In May 2019,
I don't give a fuck who from Young Thug family say anything about this shit. Nard rejected the plea deal for Young Thug. Demise McMullen rejected the fucking plea deal that would have sent his ass home for Young Thug. So it better get real interesting. Not saying that what this bitch reading means anything, because we see Bruce Harvey come out and eviscerate everything that frog-eyed bitch Hilton said. So the fact this dusty ass dressed like she can't motherfucking see her way out of anything, the fact this bitch reading it, it don't mean nothing, it still stand on business. But it still don't say shit. I don't give a fuck. Fuck Young Thug. I'm gonna rip this nigga a new one. Because at the end of the day, a lot of these niggas. So now we're not gonna do it based off of what the fuck Steele and Young Thug was doing. You niggas got the big money. But if they let that shit go unchecked, fuck Young Thug. I don't give a fuck, nigga. We the visionaries out this bitch. Nigga, you better get that shit right. Nord, Demise McMullen said, hey, nah, when he could have took a plea deal against Young Thug. So I don't give a fuck.
A YSL member shot multiple times at a vehicle owned by Rayshawn Bennett, a black and red Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon. At the time was being driven by a Milton Howard Jr. It was after that incident, later in August 2019, that defendant Williams posted on his page the language, YFN, if I didn't like what you do for your mother and kids, I would have then killed you. The post was then deleted from his account.
Let's catch up.
Williams responded, slat, handle that, I got you. Through text messages and on a separate occasion, Mr. Huey.
I don't give a fuck what you heard about Seti Nash. I'm really a street nigga at the end of the day. Fuck this lawyer shit. Fuck all that shit, nigga. I'm really from South Central Los Angeles, my nigga. We play a whole different ball game out that shit. So we're gonna see. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Niggas can call me, bitches can call me, whatever, whoever the fuck want to call me, nigga. Nah, I don't care, nigga. I'm from motherfucking California, born and raised, nigga. I'm not from Georgia. I don't give a fuck. I'm as real as they come.
Times to Mr. Adams for some time. Mr. Eppinger asked for payment for a lawyer. However, these calls were intercepted and Mr. Bennett was relocated. In March 2022, information about the stabbing made the news, and shortly thereafter, a series of violent offenses occurred. On March 11, 2022, YSL associates Christian McMiller and Darius Ford were gunned down. Mr. McMiller is a childhood friend of Mr. Williams. Mr. Ford was also a friend of Mr. Williams. On March 12th, the day after, there was a shootout near the Cleveland Avenue area. A shooting by a YSL associate, Stephen Harris, in YFN territory occurred.
On God, I'm that hard. On God, I'm that hard, nigga. On God, I'm that hard. That's why I can pull up to any nigga hood anywhere, nigga. On God, I'm that hard. That's why when Woody said what he said, y'all don't understand. When Woody got on that phone call me before, cuz had to go do his research, nigga, to find out who the fuck Seti Nash really. I'm swear to God, I'm that hard, nigga. But test me when you see me. I don't give a fuck about nothing. Fuck is you talking about? Get your bitch ass off my chat. Get rid of him.
And a YFN member was shot in the head. March 11th through March 14th, there were a number of social media posts going back and forth between members of YSL and YFN. One of them was a post by Shannon Stillwells. We ain't the only ones who are going to be crying.
True.
That's going to be crying. posting was made by Mr. Watts picturing him,
Super
Mr.
drunk.
Shamel Drinks, and Mr. Jasper Walters.
Fuck no.
On March 14th, 2022, after YSL members spotted Mr. Drinks at a gas station, Mr. Drinks was gunned down as he drove away from the gas station and waited at a red light. Later, Mr. Stillwell, Mr. Nichols, Mr. Garlington, and Mr. Farley were all charged with the murder. That is one of the acts that we are still and would anticipate the court seeing the evidence of during the course of this trial.
Why are they doing this? They gotta see who's still gonna fight this shit. That bitch putting this shit on record. You seen what Weinstein said. You see what Bruce Harvey said. Bruce Harvey said, we emphatically deny all that bullshit. Still has to do the same shit Bruce Harvey did. Because I don't give a fuck what this dusty ass bitch with that $3 weave is talking about. She can say all of this shit. I don't give a fuck what this nasty looking ass motherfucking, what's the bitch off of Ursula looking ass bitch say? No, because I'm not going back to the court. So I show back up in court, I'm going to jail. It is what it is. But I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. That nigga still gotta show up right now. Doug ain't tell this bitch to do all this shit. This the same shit dusty ass Hilton with them fucking $5 goddamn glasses said, and that nigga Bruce Harvey walked out and did like this on his motherfucking news press conference. So hell nah. Still better show his mother, bitch, we paid you $3 million, nigga. You better show up with your bitch ass. Sorry for cussing.
Mr. Huey asked Mr. Williams, hey, my brother, I'm fucked up. You ain't got nobody I can pull up on and have something in my pocket. Mr. Williams responds, slat. Let me call BEO. Mr. Huey responding, slat, I need you, my brother. Mr. Huey saying, asking whether or not a lawyer was going to go and talk to another YSL associate, asking Mr. Williams to send him some money to pay his lawyer off. Mr. Williams asking Mr. Huey, who had been accused of armed robbery, what did he want? Mr. Huey responded with a number. Mr. Williams responded, slat. After Mr. Williams stole a star ring from one of the victims in the indictment, he asked Mr. Williams, do you have a star ring? Mr. Williams said, yes. Mr. Huey said, slat, you can't cash out me $500 so I can make a payment to my lawyer. Mr. Williams responded, slat. Mr. Huey sent him his phone number. Mr. Williams assured him through his responses, slat, that he would take care of them. Throughout Mr. Huey's phone, you see messages of this nature between Mr. Huey and Mr. Williams. The court, again, will hear that as this trial continues. The recommendation that the state previously made prior to us reaching this point was made.
And let me share y'all some shit that Woody told me personally. Paige Reese Whitaker is a good judge. He said that she showed him love. So I don't want to hear no bullshit, no fuckery, no nothing like that. From what I heard, and I heard from at least 3 other individuals who will not be named, that Paige Reese Whitaker is a good judge. So expect it to be pro Young Thug at this point.
With the hope that Mr. Williams would agree to certain special conditions of probation that we asked him to adhere to, and that he would take ownership and responsibility for being the leader of YSL. Given that those negotiations have broken down, we are asking that the—
So stop. Hear what this bitch just said? That shit broke down, which means Young Thug ain't say to none of this shit. So remember that. No matter what I just said previously, she said, them niggas said nah.
court sentence Mr. Williams as we have asked earlier. And prior to the court imposing a sentence, we would ask that Ms. Shawana Edmonds, who is the mother of Mr. Thomas, be allowed an opportunity to make an impact statement. And that is all that we have, unless the court has questions.
Okay, well, given that Mr. Williams is not charged with the murder of Mr. Thomas, I don't think that is applicable here.
I checked on that, Your Honor, with respect to count one. As
Comb
a
that
co-conspirator,
shit.
Mr.
Comb
Williams
that.
is responsible for all of the acts of the other co-conspirators, the overt acts. The overt act of the murder of Donovan Thomas is one of those acts.
I know, and this trial is not complete, and so y'all have not yet proven that. Not to mention that you...
Hey. I don't give a fuck. You hear what Whitaker just said? You hear what Whitaker just said? Yeah, shout out. Hey, I'm Team Paige Reese Whitaker, nigga.
Who already pled, so...
No.
Not for that case, Your Honor. That
No.
was different. That was
No.
Mr. Green.
Okay.
We have not dismissed any.
All right,
No.
so, if there's a conviction,
Didn't ya?
the RICO or murder count following the close of this trial, that would be the appropriate time for the victim impact statement to be made. All right, Mr. Steele or Mr. Adams, does the defense want to put anything on the record? Obviously, you need to make a recommendation.
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Come on.
Many of the statements made by the prosecutor, we vehemently disagree with.
Boom! There we go, nigga.
Many pieces of evidence.
Aight,
And then
aight,
took liberty
alright.
that is the state's
Cool.
theory.
Cool, nigga.
Mr. Williams has tendered a nolo contendere plea to the RICO conspiracy count. And in that count, there are several overt acts.
First off, getting drunk on stream is a King AK-47 thing. Shut up, bitch. Recognize where it came from. That nigga AK-47 risked his channel getting drunk so that niggas like me can get on live stream and get drunk. Don't do that bitch ass shit. I fuck with academics. That's lil bro. But my blood brother over there, nigga, he was the first nigga getting drunk over there. Don't do that pussy ass shit, nigga.
And the first one, Your Honor, deals with a traffic stop.
Uh-huh.
It's on September 9th of 2013. And I won't go through every one because it might take a long time, but just for...
I can't sacrifice.
Mr. Williams is driving a car. There is a dash cam video of the stop. The officer who testified...
Even though AK can't outdrink me, nigga, stop running.
11 years later,
AK-47 can't outdrink me. Tell that nigga to stop running. He can't finish a whole do-say and do 3 live streams. Tell that nigga stop being scared of Big Bruh, nigga. Yeah.
He's not convicted of that. And the dash cam video that the officer said would have picked up sound as well as definitely video.
With his scary ass.
Was never turned over to us, supposedly lost. Could not explain the loss. The armed robbery in another overt act of Mr. Dodson, D-O-D-S-O-N, has the following information. The state only...
Come on, still. Come on, still.
So the state put up a man who said nothing except, I don't recall.
Hey,
And
fuck
then
King
they put in
AK-47, nigga.
recorded jail calls.
So
man
don't duck the smoke in,
was
nigga.
taken
I'll
and
pull up at your
taken
shit
to
in Cleveland,
taken to
nigga.
Greenville
Fuck you talking
Hospital.
to? With bottles, nigga. A
And
box.
he
Don't play with me,
was
AK.
detective.
You been running for this smoke for a long time. Don't play with me, nigga. You will get your ass beat in these games right here. Don't do that, nigga. Don't do that. I will fuck you up, nigga. Don't play with me. You ain't
Obligated
like
to
this,
say
nigga.
something on a recording where
These
he said,
biceps
"The reason I'm
big,
implicating
nigga.
Jeffrey
This big
Williams
nigga shit.
is because
You
the
like
police
here,
told me
nigga.
that
Don't
he
play
was
with me,
using it for
AK.
me." Then I had to go through
Fuck
the
you
CAD
talking.
reports
Where the invite
and
at?
show
You got
that
more
Mr.
money than me,
Bean was, in fact,
motherfucker.
taken to Grady Hospital, and Mr. Bean on recording told Detective Quinn, who of course told the truth. Yes, when I spoke to the detective previously, I did lie.
Hold on. Nigga better. You see
Then
this shit?
what the state doesn't
Hold on.
tell the jury
You
is
niggas
that
see
there's
this
another
shit?
man in the
Y'all
car.
see these muscles?
He is shot at the
Nigga.
scene. He's arrested. He pled guilty. His name is Fred Prethrow, P-R-E-T-H-O.
Frederick Prethrow.
And Mr.
Yes, sir.
Prethrow is in the Georgia State Prison System, easy to find. Mr. Prethrow was in Grady Hospital also, unfortunately suffering
Now
from a
smoke.
gunshot wound. And you can hear the medical equipment behind him. And Detective Williams came in and was recording the whole conversation and said how many people were in the car. And Mr. Prethrow names the people: Adrian Bean, who's the gentleman I just said, himself, and Walter Murphy. Are you sure there weren't a fourth person in the car? No, the three of us. The state doesn't call that person. The state does call Detective Williams. So I wanted to ask and inquire on that. The state, to obstruct, if that's obstruction, asked the predecessor court to prohibit me from getting into the fact of any conversation.
If it was fluff,
that would
bitch,
have
that should be
impeached another
jiggling.
witness. It's
If
fine.
it was fluff,
Fred
that should be
Prethro's on
jiggling,
my
bitch.
witness list as
Fuck
well
your
as
dead
the
homies,
detective,
nigga.
and I have the recordings.
This
In
real
addition to
muscles,
that,
nigga.
Walter Murphy
Nigga,
gave a
these
statement
45-inch
in the
biceps,
hospital.
nigga.
And his
Real
statement
talk.
is very interesting. It's two different police reports, signed the same date, which is September 11th of 2013. And on the first 7 lines of the police report, they're identical. Then all of a sudden, when it gets to on the right-hand police report, it says Mr. Murphy stated that there were 3 people, I believe, I have to go back, in the vehicle. On the other police report, it states Mr. Murphy stated there were 4 people. There's no reason that they should be different. They're both signed the same. The state doesn't call that officer at all. I tried to ask Mr. Murphy about it. The state objects, and the predecessor judge sustained the objection. Mr. Williams was not involved in Mr. Dotson. Miss Bennett, that was Mother's Day, May 12, 2013. She reports allegedly an armed robbery. The detective who testified here and investigated it stated he never took out arrest warrants for Mr. Williams. And he wrote in his police report, Miss Bennett is not truthful. That is the case that the state is talking about. The state then, there was Brady evidence.
Come on, still. Come on.
We'll find out about it in court after they arrest Miss Bennett because they say she's not cooperating, and it comes out that she told the prosecution over and over again that this did not happen the way that she reported it, and she doesn't remember. As to Donovan Thomas, and Mr. Williams has nothing but empathy, sympathy, and sorrow. They were friends. It is a lie. What the prosecution has put before this jury is a lie. What happened here is the prosecution comes up with a theory because they need a motive, they think. I know you don't need a motive in reality to prove a murder case or any other case, but they wanted a motive. So they made it where Mr. Williams and a gentleman named Rich Homie Kwan, his name is Mr. Lamar, he's a performer, and Mr. Williams and Mr. Lamar were close. There are public documents, recordings, Mr. Lamar being interviewed almost every year, and then he talks about his time with this band or group called Rich Gang, and he says every year up to this past year, he God forbid died, we can't call him as a witness, how close he is to Mr. Williams. The state, though, made it in this case, or tried to make it, that Mr. Williams and Mr. Rich Homie Kwan are enemies because Rich Homie Kwan will not sign with a record label that has nothing to do with Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams doesn't sign that record label. That record label is owned by a gentleman named Brian Williams,
aka Birdman. Come on.
Successful.
Bring it home, still.
Drake's career, he started.
Nicki Minaj.
Mr. Dwayne Carter, performer known as
Lil Wayne. Come on.
He started Nicki Minaj's career, just fabulous, powerful person, well respected in the industry. But the state wants it to be that Donovan Thomas interceded and would not let Rich Homie Kwan sign to Mr. Brian Birdman Williams. And that is the reason that Jeffrey Williams had a feud and killed Donovan Thomas.
Right.
Your Honor, what the evidence would really show if we kept going to trial, and I could tell you that Mr. Adams and I never thought we'd be in front of this honorable court. We always thought it would go all the way through trial.
Which means?
Was the state is saying that Rich Homie and Jeffrey Williams don't speak since the fall, and they have a bad relationship the fall of 2014. We would have shown, and we served on the state, December 15th, 2014, Jeffrey Williams in a private plane with Mr. Lamar or Rich Homie Quan, and they are high-fiving and laughing with each other. That is on audio video. There's a man who the state hasn't called yet, Mr. Martinez Arnold, also known as Duke. It's on the state's witness.
Come on, it was going to fuck up the whole case.
Merchant. He's on that plane as well. He would have identified the item, and he would have testified that Mr. Williams and Mr. Lamar were very close in December 2014. Then on December 29th of 2014, Mr. Williams, Mr. Rich Homie Quan, Mr. Arnold, others were at Brian Williams' home in Miami, Florida. There was a posting by Mr. Lamar, Rich Homie Quan, and a picture of Mr. Arnold and Mr. Lamar, and they said, Mr. Lamar says, "This is my number one man, Duke," or something to that effect. We would have put that into evidence. In addition to that, Your Honor, on December 8th, 2 days before Mr. Thomas, God forbid, was killed, Mr. Williams is with Mr. Thomas, as well as Mr. Sledge and Brian Williams in Brian Williams' tour bus outside of a fabulous entertainer, artist, Mr. Clifford Harris, T.I.'s studio, and at that time, they were very close. But you also have the detective with the gang unit, Detective Underwood. I asked her within the last 2 weeks.
Come on, still. Bring it home, nigga.
Did you do any, and she was on the gang unit the entire time, including today. And I asked her, do you have any evidence about Mr. Williams and Mr. Thomas being close friends? And she said, yes, of course I knew that. I said, how about in January of 2015, close to time of Mr. Thomas's death? She said, yes, they were close friends. Mr. Michael Sprinkle, he's a deputy district attorney in the Fulton County DA's office. He has a recording with Mr. Treadwell. You've heard the name O.G. Bentley. And in that, they're going through the evidence. And Mr. Treadwell, it's important because he has a child, too, actually, with Mr. Thomas's sister. He's family. And Mr. Sprinkle states this is...
We're going to end this and pick it up on the Seti Nash channel.
All of the interviews of Mr. Copeland. This is after the interviews of Mr.